and I'm a grief specialist. I sit with women so they can feel heard, understood, and supported while they're on their grief healing journey. And today I want to talk about I don't know who I am anymore without them. I don't know who I am. So let's talk about the grief that nobody wants to talk about. Let's talk about the part that becomes the silent grief. It really is the silent part of grief that people just aren't with you to talk about. It's not just that your person is gone. That's what a lot of people think. They think just because your person is gone, that you're going to, that someday, quickly, soon, you'll be over this. And that's not what it's about. It is the version of you that existed in that relationship with them. It is the version of you that's gone. It is the version of you that you're left with in that relationship that's gone. You were someone in this world with them. You were someone in this world with them. There was a version of you that existed in this relationship that went together with him. It made the beautiful music of who you are. You were someone in their world. You were someone in their world. You absolutely were someone in their world. You were someone with purpose. You were someone with a role. You were someone with a rhythm that made sense. The rhythm made sense. This is a lot of what I taught in Grief Study Hall today. Maybe you were their rock. Maybe you were their safe place. I had grievers tell me today, I thought one lady even made me cry. It was so beautiful. She said, I was his protector. I would protect him. I would make sure that he was okay. Man, being their protector, you had a rhythm that made sense together. Maybe you were their rock. Maybe you were their safe place. Maybe you were their person and they were your person. Think about that. And now you are floating. Some days you're numb. Some days you're trying to be okay, but you can't recognize who you are anymore. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you now? And hear me out, friends. Oops, I got to turn the camera around. Hold on one second. I think what happens a lot of times is that we don't get a chance to really go through this question because people aren't asking us this. They're not asking us this. They're saying, he wouldn't want you to be that way. He's in a better place. They're speaking all of the things that will go to our brain. They aren't asking us this because we sometimes aren't even asking ourselves that because we don't even know who that is. You're grieving the meaning and the identity of who you were. That you doesn't seem to exist anymore. And I want you to know that is where the grief is. Trying to figure out the answer to this question is truly holds a lot of grief. It holds a lot of grief. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm tired of pretending that I'm okay. I'm tired of pretending that I'm fine. For the one who feels like you have disappeared, that you disappeared the day that they left, happens to a lot of us. Hold on, I gotta move this chair. We feel like the day that they left, they took part of us with them. And to me, I don't know. You guys have to tell me. I think that that's true. I think that the day that she left, she took part of me with her. I'm not that best friend anymore. Stormy says, I feel so lost. And I want you to know that that's real grief. It's part of the unpacking of your grief. It's part of the unpacking that you, the griever, has to do. This pain lives in our whispers. It's so quiet down that people don't even hear it. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. Who am I now without him? Who am I now that he's gone? Who will I be? Here's the thing I want you to know. And I say this all the time, but I'm going to keep saying it. My friend, you are not broken. You are not broken. And because you are not broken, you do not need to be fixed. You are grieving. You are grieving. And you're not lost. So here's some of the things that we know about you. You're not broken. You're not lost. You don't need to be fixed. And I think until you hear that for real, you don't honestly believe it. You don't honestly believe it. So come on in, sit with me, and let's talk about this in grief. Let me introduce myself for you, those of you who don't know me. My name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is a private university and the place where healing begins. I sit with women so that they can feel heard, understood, and supported while they are on their unique grief healing journey. I teach an educational program on grief and loss. I start at the beginning of grief. There's something most people don't understand about grief, and it's not just the loss of them. It's not just the loss of my person. The loss of my person is huge. The fact that I lost my person is huge. Friends, and I absolutely call it my person, and I do that for a reason, and let me tell you why. It's my person, and I want to call them your person. Why? Because I don't know what they were to you. Was it your child? Was it your husband? Was it your lover? Was it a less than loved one? Is it your mom, but you had a tumultuous relationship with her? Is it your father who drank alcohol every single day, and hence you have a life of a less than loved one experience? I don't know. And when I say your person, you get to decide who that is. You get to decide who that is for you. So it is our person. So my person. It's not just about losing them. It's not just that I lost them. What are the other things? What are the other things that go along with the loss? Who are we together? The version of you who existed in their presence, the one who felt safe, the one who felt needed, the one who felt seen. This is the lesson from today in the grief study hall, but I changed it up a little bit. This is what we were talking about. Beautiful, beautiful people in there sharing today. And when they died, the version of you that was with your person, the part that you lost just them, but you also lost a version of you. The version of you, who is that? Who is she now? Who is the version of you? Who is she now? Grief doesn't just take away your person. It takes away who you were with them, who you were before them, and who you are now. And that's the part that no one prepares you for. One, it's the part that no one prepares you for, but it's also the part no one wants to talk about. Nobody talks about this. Question. Have you found yourself thinking this question? I don't even recognize this statement. I don't even recognize myself anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't recognize myself anymore. Let's slow this down and name it and really name it. Let's slow it down and really name it. Who are you without them? That's what I want to know. Deep down in your heart, I know you're the mother. I know you're the wife. I know you're the daughter. But without them, who are you? Aida says, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here without them. Yeah, I hear you, friend. And because you don't know who you are, because we don't know who we are without them, people come up to us and they treat us differently. They talk all around the grief, right? So let me show you what that looks like. Here's you. Here's your grief, a big giant heart of pain that's spilling over into the world. But that's not what they're talking about. They talk about all the things that has anything to do with but that. They're talking about the weather. They're talking about the clouds in the sky. They're talking about the tree they just planted, right? They're talking about the trip they're going to take. This is their motorhome, right? They're talking about the TV show they just watched. They're talking about social media. I'm going to make a TikTok. They're talking about everything around here, but no one's talking about this. No one's talking about your heart. They're not talking about your heart. They're talking about everything else. No one's talking about the heart. But it's not just the heart. It is also, hey girl, how you doing? How are you doing today? How's your grief today? But the other thing is, if you start a conversation, man, they'll quickly change it to one of these. Did you see all the clouds in the sky? It's really going to be hot today. Every time you go here and you start to talk about this, they quickly change the subject. They quickly change the subject. So how are we supposed to deal with this silence? How are we supposed to deal with the silence of no one talking to us? No one understands us. How are we supposed to deal with this silence? Hey, sunshine. Nothing but silence. Okay, Suzanne, I thought I saw you. Hey, Joanne. Hello. Hey, Debbie. So let's slow it down and let's really name what's happening. Because when someone you love dies, you lose more than just your person. You lose your reflection in their eyes. You lose your reflection in their eyes, how they see you, how you see yourself. Wow, can you imagine that? You lose how they look at you. You lose the version of yourself that felt connected to a purpose. You lose the part of yourself that felt connected to a purpose through them. Hey, Miss Debbie. You lose the rhythm of life that made sense. So much of our identity is tied into our person. So much of our identity is tied into our love for the person. So much of our identity is tied into our love, who we loved and who loved us back. We woke up every day and we lived in the reflection of them through acts of care. We did careful acts to them, loving acts. We had conversations. We had routines. We shared meals. We shared decisions. We shared a living space. For most of us, we shared a living space. When your person is gone, the shape of your day is different. The shape of your day changes. I'm going to tell you guys about my day with Sharon. Sharon would get up between 4 and 5 a.m. She was in the car by 6:15. She was on the phone with me by 6:30. She had a 1 to 1.5 hour commute. And we talked all the way on her commute until she got there. It was very rarely that she didn't call me on her way to work. We went to church together, so we would see each other on Wednesday night. And I would get there around 7:30 p.m. Most nights on the way home, she would call me. For years, she didn't drive. She actually took the train. So we would talk on the train, unless she fell asleep on the train. And so we would talk about 1 hour every night. And then we would see each other on Wednesdays at church. And then we would see each other on Sundays. And most Saturdays, we were hanging out doing stuff. Everything in my life revolved around what Sharon was doing. Everything in Sharon's life revolved around what I was doing. Hey, what are the kids doing? What's happening here? Let's go over here. Oh my gosh, they have homecoming. Let's go get the dress. Both of us had daughters get married. Both of us talked about the weddings nonstop for a year. Her daughter Erin got married, and my daughter Lauren got married. All we talked about was the wedding. I mean, can you imagine? All we talked about was the wedding. And then I would get the invitation and I would show it to her. And we went to bridal shows. Her daughter wasn't even engaged yet. She was fully committed to my daughter's wedding. And I did the same for her. She showed up for me, the shape of my life and the shape of my day. Sharon died of glioblastoma cancer in 2017. There were no morning calls. There was no church service. Her son got married, and I showed up 100%. I even flew to North Carolina and supported him. Before COVID, the 1 year before COVID, I invited her kids over for dinner every first Sunday. And I would cook dinner for them so we could stay together as a family. She had 3 kids. My day was different. It was heavy. My days after. It wasn't happy. I mean, I was surviving. I was doing the thing. But there were no calls. There was nobody to talk to. No one to talk to. And you know what this did? It just made me long for her even more. It made me long for her. I wanted her to be here. I was okay with going to the wedding. I was okay with doing the dinners, but I needed her. And the shape of who I was felt completely different. When your person is gone, the shape of your day feels different. And the shape of who you are is 100% different. Here's my question. What role did you play in their life? I played the role of best friend, sister, mentor. She played the role back to me of soul sister, mentor, and friend. What did that role mean to you? It meant everything to me. The role that I was with Sharon meant everything. You guys, you ladies, when I tell you there was confidence, I had such confidence being with her. I didn't even have to be with her. I was the other half of a duo. Yeah. I didn't even have to be with her, and there was confidence. Hang in there, brat. You got this. There's a silent panic that can set in after the loss. It's a voice that whispers, "Who am I now?" It is a voice that whispers, "Who am I now?" Not just the first week, not just the first month, but in the quiet middle, the long stretch of days. The days become so long. The long stretch of days of you searching for her. Sharon was gone before COVID. I did all of COVID without her. Man, we would have had so much fun. Maybe, I don't know. Would I have gone to see her? Yeah, I would have gone to see her. The long stretch of days. The cards have all stopped. The casseroles aren't coming. Nobody's bringing the ham. Nobody's bringing the potato salad. People automatically assume you're getting better. But the truth is, you feel more lost those weeks, days, and months than you did when you first lost them. And when I say that, I think it really surprises people because you're in such shock and such pain when you first lose your person. You're in such shock and such pain. You think that that's the worst it's ever going to be. And then here comes Sharon Brubaker to tell you, no. When people start assuming you're getting better, but you're not, you feel even more lost. And here's the truth. Here's the truth I want you to hear. Again, you're not broken, you're grieving. I want you to know that grief is messy. It messes with your identity. It is not only messy, it messes with your identity. And for women, especially, that identity was often wrapped in the care of their person. Let me say that again for the women in the back. As a woman, our identity is especially wrapped in the care of our children, the care of our husband, the care of our parents, the care of our best friend, in being there for someone. And you might be thinking, man, I really liked who I was with them. And that's grief talking to you. You might also say, I didn't like them. I didn't like the way I showed up around them. I didn't like the person that I became around them. And that's grief talking to you. Because you were someone real, and you lived a real life in that relationship. And I want you to understand this. That relationship wasn't always pretty. And it wasn't always perfect. And we have to tell the truth about that because that's the truth. It wasn't always pretty and it wasn't always perfect. Suzanne said their lives don't change. They go back to their world and you don't even recognize yours. You don't even recognize yours. Someone said to me, I think it was you, Suzanne, that coming home the first night after the funeral was over, not even wanting to come home. And now that the casseroles have stopped, the cards have stopped, it may be a year, it may be 2 years, and now you don't know how to find yourself. My question, do you feel like you've lost the version of yourself that made sense? Let me say that again. Do you feel like you lost the version of yourself that made sense? I'm burying, Southern Belle says, I'm burying my mom this coming Saturday and I'm not okay. No, Southern Belle, you're probably not. My heart to yours, my love. Southern Belle, can you share her first name with us, please? Just so we can honor her here. And everybody, when Southern Belle shares her name, can you tap the screen? I've lost the version of myself and I don't know. Do you feel like you've lost a version of yourself that doesn't make sense? Who made sense? I'm sorry. You're not gone, friends. Doris, everybody, let's tap the screen for Southern Belle and for Doris. My heart to yours, Southern Belle. I want you to know that I absolutely have no idea what your heart is going through. And I can tell you Saturday is going to be extremely hard. Know that we're thinking of you. Know that we're sending you love. And know that we're here to support you, my friend. Kathleen said she's just going through the motions. Suzanne just buried her brother yesterday, Steve. And she said she's just going through the motions, especially after yesterday. Not knowing who she is. Because now we've got to figure out who I am now. Justine wants to know if we can honor Sherry. Absolutely. Everybody, can we tap the screen for Justine and for Sherry? Thank you. She passed on Sunday. 51st birthday is on July 4th. My heart to yours, Justine. Truly my heart to yours. Thank you for letting us know about Sherry. Guys, I got 2 screens going, so I'm not ignoring you. I just want you to know. I'm live over here as well. And I'm glad you're here. And I keep coming back to TikTok because I don't have any comments yet on the Facebook, but that's okay. Miss Christie's here. Underneath the weight of the loss, the pain, the confusion, the memories, the regrets, and the fear of what's to come next can stop you in your tracks. It will absolutely stop you in your tracks. But you are still here, and that matters. And you're going to figure out who you are without them. I promise you. I promise you, you're going to figure out who you are without them. Grief does not erase you. Even though it feels like it. It does not erase you. It makes it difficult. It makes it so difficult to understand because you literally step into a version of yourself that you don't know who she is. She's unrecognizable to you. She is absolutely unrecognizable to you. And that's the scary part. That is the scary part. Thank you for the gifts, my friend. And also, the scariest part. It's the scary part, and it's also the scariest part. Because the loss stripped away your old life. But it didn't take your capacity to become. We are becoming, in our grief, first you become the griever. The first thing you have to become is the griever. You have to acknowledge that you are a griever. I want to ask you this. What part of you do you miss the most? What part of you do they miss the most? I miss the friendship. I miss the friendship. The part where it wasn't judged, where it was just pure, where we laughed, where we enjoyed each other. What part of you are you missing now? So many women that I talk to say, I don't know what I'm like anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to be in a world without them. And here's the answer, friends. Here's the answer. That's okay. That's okay. That's the raw truth of grief. I don't know who I am without them. And that's okay. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am without them. I don't know what I'm like anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't know what things I like. I don't know how to be in this world without her. What do I do next? This, my friends, is the raw truth of grief. This, my friends, is the silent part of grief. This, my friends, is the part that nobody talks about. You don't have to know right now. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to start by being with yourself just to figure it out. You got to just be silent, be quiet, and let it be. EK says, my favorite version of myself I'll ever have been was as her person. Southern Belle says, when I have been a caregiver for years and years, it's easy not to know. Yes. And I want to offer this to you, Southern Belle. The caregiving portion is also a grieving. Not having that caregiving job anymore. Stormy Sky says, being funny the last night of the conversation. She was my biggest fan, says Kathleen. You don't have to know right now. You don't have to get it all figured out. You have to start by being with yourself. You have to be with the one who aches. You have to be with the one who aches. That's you. You have to be with the one who aches. You have to be with the crumpled up version. Is that how I write it? Oh. The version of you that is crumpled. The version of you that can't seem to move on. The version of you that's on the bathroom floor. The version of you that's crying. The version of you that's so mad. You're so mad at this. Nobody's even asking. You have to be the version of you that's pretending. Because this version of you, she's pretending to be okay. She's pretending that this grief doesn't matter. You have to be with every version of this. You have to be with it before you fix it, before you try to change it. You have to be with the one who doesn't want to pretend anymore. Grief will strip you down to your bones. It will absolutely strip you down to your bones. 1201, I see you. She said, I lost my dad on 10/6/24. I lost my uncle on 6/21. You just passed the 1-year anniversary for uncle. And my mom on 5/1/25. It's draining me. I don't know how to grieve anymore. You grieve one day at a time. Whoever shows up for you that day, whatever pain shows up for you that day, you allow that pain to be with you. It's just like what I'm saying. You have to be with the one who aches. You have to be the version of you that's crumpled on the bathroom floor. You have to be the one be with you with the version of the one that's pretending. It's one day at a time, one step at a time. And sorry, I ate some almonds. Today, the part that's grieving might really be towards dad. Tomorrow, it might really be towards mom. It might really be towards losing my parents. Whatever version of you shows up, that's who you have to be with. Quietly, alone, and acknowledge. You have to acknowledge that that's where you are. Let's talk about something else that no one talks about. When they died, you didn't lose your past. You didn't lose just your relationship with them. 1201, thank you for sharing. You lost your present and your future. You lost your past, your present, your future. You lost the one who would sit next to you at the event. You lost the one that you would tell the secrets about. Girl, what does she have on? You lost the person you would gossip with. Does she even have a full-length mirror? What is wrong with her? What is that outfit? You lost the person who would attend the graduations and the weddings with you. The one who would have been seen, heard, and would have loved to be with you. You lost the one who's not going to be at the graduation. You lost the one who's not going to see that baby be born. And now you're shattered. And that means you're also grieving what could have been. You're not just grieving what was. You're grieving what could have been. What part of your future did you imagine them being in? And who were you in that version of the story? What part of your future did you imagine her being in or him being here? And who are you in that? Sharon would have loved my business. She would have loved my grief business. She would have been a part of that business with me. She would have absolutely been part of that. 1201, when you do your grief work, she said, what happens? How do you get rid of the fear of losing other people? The fear of losing other people is absolutely a real fear. Absolutely a real fear. When you do the grief work, we know that that will dissipate over time. The intensity of it will come down over time. But right now, it's there. And the number one thing you can be doing is talking about it. Talking about it. Let's be honest. Grief isn't just sad. It completely disorients you. I don't know about you, but I felt like I was living in someone else's body and I was experiencing someone else's life. And I for sure wanted that to be true. I was walking around in a shell of a body. I couldn't even think. There were things I was supposed to be doing and I didn't know what those were. I wasn't really there. I wasn't really showing up. I was just performing for everyone. I was barely surviving. I was going through the motions. And when you slow down long enough, you can ask yourself, what do I do next? What am I supposed to do first? How do I take care of me? You've got to slow it down, friends. You've got to have some quiet time. Why? Because people aren't coming around to save you. Nobody's coming. No one is coming to save you. It's not weakness, it's grief. It's not weakness, it's grief. And you're not alone in this. This is exactly the space that I want to talk to you about. Today I did something. I have a support group called, if you guys are new to my page and you don't know, I have a support group called Grief Study Hall. It's a place where we talk about the identity, the shifts that take place. I absolutely am bringing grief down. This version of what I'm teaching today was taught in there, but we went to the meaning. What did your relationship mean? Who were you together and what did you make that mean? Not I was his mother and he was my son. We went deep. I was his protector. I was her friend. I honored the space we were in. Grief Study Hall meets different days of the week at different times. You go to the link in my bio and you click on the link that says click here for hope, and there you can sign up for Study Hall. There's a place where you can sign up for Study Hall. Or more importantly, you can join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is the Grief School. Everything that's happening with me and where I'm going to be and where I'm going to be showing up shows up in the Facebook group. However, today she put that I was coming live at 4 o'clock. I knew I was going to be on tonight. You don't have to figure this out by yourself. It's on Facebook, yes. The Book of Face, yes, it is. It's called the Grief School. A place where we talk about identity, where we talk about shifting, where we actually see each other. It's actually a Zoom meeting. I promise you, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. What part of you feels lost right now? And what would it mean if someone else witnessed your grief? Hey, Teresa, what would it mean if someone else absolutely witnessed your grief? And that someone doesn't always have to be me. There are other women in the group. Yeah, Book of Face, I got it. Thank you. You don't have to rebuild yourself by going back to who you were. Because you can't. You can't go back. I cannot go back to being Sharon's best friend. Hi, Ayana's mom. My doctor referred me to you. That's awesome. There are women here who do want to listen. You can't go back to who you were. You can't go back to being their daughter. You can't go back to being their mother. But you can be the best version of who you are now. And you can share about them and you can talk about them. And they come with you. They come with you every step of the way. Teresa, have you reached out to me, my love? Have we talked? I'm sorry. Ayana's mom. Hey, 1201. My heart to yours. I see you. Let me finish teaching this lesson and then I'm going to hang out with you guys in TikTok for a minute. You rebuild by honoring her. You rebuild yourself by honoring you, by remembering her, by carrying her lesson with you in your heart. And you create space for who you are now inside your heart. When I'm talking about her, I'm talking about you. Who are you when you're not being everything to everyone else? Who are you when you're not trying to fix the world? Because let me tell you, we as women are strong as hell. We've gone through this grieving experience. We've been with our person. We've lost our person. And now we're going on to the next thing. I'm telling you, when they expect you to move on to the next thing, it is not a joke. I want you to see this as grief's deeper invitation, not just to mourn your loss, but not just to return to yourself, not just to go and try to pick up piece by piece, but moment by moment to just step in. You are not too far gone. You are not too far broken. You are becoming. And the first thing we need to become is the griever. The first person we need to become, the first woman we need to become is the griever. We have to step into the grieving journey. For most of us, we're resisting it. We're pushing back against it. We don't want to be there. You have to become the griever first. What does she need in order to grow? What do you need in order to grow? I want to leave you with this, my friends. It's okay to not know who you are right now. It's okay to still be trying to figure it out, even if it's 4 years, 5 years, 7 years later. It's okay that all you did today was breathe. If that's all you did today, I'm absolutely okay with that. You are a continuation, building and building and building. And the first thing you've got to do is become a griever. You've got to say, I am a griever. And once you become the griever, you can now start to look at the grief. You can start going after the grief. You can absolutely look at the grief. You're not starting over fresh from new. You're starting from wisdom, the wisdom of who you are. You're starting from truth. You're starting from the pain. You're going to be starting from the love that they left you, the love you had for them. You're going to start from courage. You are going to rebuild yourself from the ashes, my friends, the version of you that knew how to love deeply. You're going to rebuild with intention, not from a performance, not out of duty, not out of pretending, because I promise you, pretending is not going to get there. but from this present moment of the pain. And it is so incredibly powerful when we do our work, when we absolutely do the work that our heart was meant to do. What would it mean if you started right now at this point instead of at the end? Most of us are at the end of our grief trying to figure out how to get back. Here's day one, the day your heart broke, the day you lost your person and this hole formed in your heart. This is day one. For most of us, we travel along this grief healing journey, and there are up and down days. But a lot of us just want to get over here and try to figure it out. We want to be at the end already. We want to go to the end of our grief healing journey and be here already. We don't want to go through this. We don't want to go through this broken heart. We want to be at the end. And for many of you, you shoot to the end. And guess what's still there? Sad, mad, pissed off, broken. You didn't do anything but jump to the end. And for a lot of us, we've got to look back. We've got to look back because you cannot jump through ahead. You've got to come back. You've got to do the grief thing. You can't pay $200 and go to Done with Grief and get out of jail. We all have to do our grief healing journey. All of us. There is no escaping to the end. You can't pretend your way through it. You've got to grieve all the way like this until you come out the other end. And the version of you that comes out the other end is so different of the version with you that started. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes the version that comes out is better. She's at least recognizable. You at least know who she is. So I'm going to leave you with this. You're not just grieving the absence of them. You are grieving the meaning they brought to your life. The way that they reflected back a version of you that felt whole. When you looked at them, you loved them and they love you. Isn't that amazing? And now they're no longer there. You have no one to put that reflection on. But you, my friend, are still here, which means healing is still possible for you. Not by forgetting them, not by rushing through the process, but by meeting yourself and in the ruins of these ashes, and asking yourself, what now and who am I? And in order to get the answers to those questions, you've got to slow it down. You've got to get quiet so you can hear the answer. And slowly and softly, you'll start to hear whispers. And in the whispers is where the healing is. If you're ready, come and sit with me. Come and sit with me and let's talk about the pain. Let's find the parts of you that are ready to be rebuilt. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready, willing, and able. My name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is a private university and the place where healing begins. Click the link in my bio. Click here for hope. There you can find the Book of Face, and you can find all of the other things that you need to know about me. Friends, there are no shortcuts. You've got to go through every bit of this. That's what Suzanne's saying. You've got to go through every bit of this to come out the other side. When I tell you I don't know who I am without them, it is true. It is absolutely true. I hope this helped. I will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I believe. I could be wrong. Hold on. Hold, please. Yeah, I was always meant to come on live at 8:30 tonight. I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30. I'll be doing another live. This is a series I'm going to do through the rest of the week. Who am I without them? I'll be live tomorrow at 8:30. I'll be live Thursday morning at 11. And I'll be live Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to be talking about grief healing, and who we are. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Facebook. Hey, Sita. Hey, Bill. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this message helped you all today. I will see you all tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Central Standard Time. Yes. Thank you, friends.